Welcome back to the Distressed Princess. I'm Rhonda. In today's video, I'm working on some Halloween DIYs. That's right. The weather has turned just a tad bit cool in my area, and they're starting to put out some Halloween decorations in the store and got me all in the mood for Halloween. So here we go with DIY number 1. This is a decoration I picked up at TJ Maxx on clearance for 70 cents. So I've held on to this for a long time, and I'm so glad to finally have a purpose for it. And I'm also using this wood round cutout from Walmart that was around $1. And a package of these Halloween cutouts that I believe came from Michael's last year. And some of these wooden stickers from the Dollar Tree. I'm only using the bats though. The first thing I did was I painted my wooden decoration with some folk art black chalk paint. It only took one coat and I covered all the sides. They usually have signs like this at Goodwill and thrift stores that you can pick up really cheap too. The wood round is going to be a moon, so I wanted to paint it sort of a whitish yellow color. And because the moon is not one solid color, it's got all those craters and shadowy places, I decided to add a little bit of gray. So I just used a foam brush and a little bit of gray paint while the white paint was still wet so I could blend the two together. And I just dabbed in places and played around with it and blended it in, and I thought it looked pretty good for a moon. When I was happy with the color of my moon, I hot glued it to my black wood block. Now my idea was to have some bats flying across the moon, so I'm getting out all of my bat cutouts. And to make them a little bit different than the black background that they're on, I painted them with this metallic black paint. And sometimes these raw wood cutouts can really suck up the paint, so I had to use 2 coats. Now then, you want to have a plan in mind and how you want to arrange your bats, so I laid them all out first and hot glued them all down. The little sticker bats from the Dollar Tree have a little sticky thing on the back of them, so I just put hot glue on top of that. I really felt like I wanted to add something else, so I went back to the little box of wood cutouts from Michael's, and I got out the number 31 and decided I would put it down in the bottom right corner. I painted it with some gray paint, and then I used my foam brush to do a little distressing with black paint around the edges. Then to make it look a little weathered and worn, I dry brushed a little white paint on top of it. And I hot glued it down. This was really easy to put together and looks like it was bought at a high-end store. Here's DIY number 2. This one is inspired by something I've been seeing online, and I wanted to see if I could make one myself. So I looked for a grapevine wreath, and the Dollar Tree didn't have any, but I did find this one at Michael's for just under $5. So I took my wire cutters and I cut through every little piece of grapevine to cut one small section out of the wreath. Then I used black zip ties to kind of taper off the ends where I had cut to make a moon shape. And cut the tails. Then I used some floral wire to wrap around the moon. So that sounds funny, wrap around the moon. But anyway, to kind of hold those grapevines in place if they've gotten a little loose from having cut a section out. My inspiration picture showed the cat batting at some sort of a crystal or something, which I don't have. So I'm just going to use a little Halloween ornament from the Dollar Tree. So I'm placing it about where I think the ornament might hang, and I'm measuring to see how tall I need my cat to be in order for it to bat the ornament. And I came up with 4 inches for the size of my wreath. Then I took the wreath outside and spray painted it black. You could go to Google Images and find a picture of a cat batting at something, but I got my image from Creative Fabrica because it's my favorite place for graphics, and it is linked in my description box below if you'd like to try it. So I just printed it out on regular printer paper and then cut it out of the paper. Now, of course, paper's too flimsy for this project, so I glued the paper cat down to a piece of black foam board, and then I cut that out so I have a nice stable cat to sit in the wreath. Now, also, if you have a laser engraver, you could do a wood cutout. Because foam board is white on the inside, white foam, then you need to use some black paint to paint around the edges, and I also went ahead and painted the front and the back of the cat black. And here's my wreath back inside from the black spray paint, and here's how the cat will sit, so I think it's looking good. For the flower decoration part, I went the easiest route, which are these large clip-on flowers from the Dollar Tree. I love them because there's no hot glue necessary. Just use their little clips to clip them onto the wreath. In between the flowers, I'm using some large and small Halloween ornaments from the Dollar Tree. And those had to be hot glued into place. And then I hot glued my cat on its little perch. And the final touch is the little ornament that the cat is batting at, which I used a piece of black yarn to attach to the top of the wreath. No, I was wrong. That wasn't the final touch. The final touch was putting these spiders. I put a couple of them onto the big flowers. And I made a hanger out of black yarn, but I think I want to replace that with jute string. DIY number 3. Now here's a nice big cloche that I've been saving since last year. I got it at the Target dollar spot. It was $5. Why do they call it a dollar spot? Or is it the bullseye? Anyhow, it was $5 at Target last year. And at Dollar Tree, they have these nice black metal tea light holders, and I thought it might be the perfect thing to put inside this cloche. And the dome of the cloche is just a hair tad too short, but this is kind of a bendable little tea light, so you can make it work. Now, I wanted it to look like there were lights on inside of this little haunted house, so I'm using some orange fabric from the Crafter's Square at Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut out little pieces and hot glue to the back, which is just kind of a little bit tricky, only in that you have to trim out around and make sure it's not coming out the sides of the house, only in the windows. And this is how it looks when you're done with that, and you can put it back in the cloche and put your tea light. But I also wanted to decorate the bottom, so I've got these pipe cleaners from the Dollar Tree and some more of those Halloween ornaments, which I've got the big ones and the little ones out, and I started out using the big ones, but they were too big, so I scrapped that, and I just threaded some orange and black smaller ornaments onto the pipe cleaner, and then I tied the pipe cleaner around the middle of the little stand of the cloche. DIY number 4. This one also was inspired by some things that I saw when I was at the at-home store, and it was black succulents. So that's easy enough to accomplish. Just pick up some of these little succulents from the Dollar Tree. You'll need some of the black rocks and a container, which I picked up this square glass one from the Dollar Tree too. I painted them right in their little pots with the black paint, and it was super quick and easy. And while the succulents are drying, you can work on your black rocks. So I thought that they needed to go inside the container but be permanent so that they won't just get knocked over and spill out. So I decided to mix the black rocks up with some glue. And I wanted to use clear glue so it would dry clear. So I just used however much glue that made like a Rice Krispie treat consistency. You know how when you make Rice Krispie treats and you put the marshmallows in, that sticky texture that you know they're going to stick together? That's what I was going for. And I did run out of the clear glue, so I used a little bit of white glue with it too. And when it was good and mixed up, then I poured it all into the glass container. And I packed it down sort of like you would do a Rice Krispie treat in the pan. Then immediately I transfer the cactuses into the black rocks, and I put them where I want them to go, which makes a little hole in the rocks, which I will then fill with some hot glue so that the cactuses are permanent into the fixture too. Now let's take a look back at all our Halloween DIYs today. Time for a cute cat video. So really sad news, my little Lily bunny passed away. So I had to get Sweet Pea a new friend, and so this is Jessica Rabbit, and Yachty is being the best big brother to the little bunny, and he just loves to watch her, and he plays with Sweet Pea, and they're all getting along just fine, but I will forever miss my little Lily. And here's little Sweet Pea munching away on her Timothy hay out of her really cute little hay bag that I got from Temu. Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and if you haven't yet, subscribe to my channel so that you can catch up on all of my crafting adventures. Subscribing is free and easy. Just click the button with my face right here. Hope you have a happy weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye!